There we go. I'm not late, you're late. Hello. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. I'm like 45% sure that it's Tuesday. But losing track a little bit. Welcome to the live stream, and welcome to our Tuesday morning mount runs, which is a stream that we haven't done for a while. Morning, Hazel. Hey, Caloroon, how are you doing? I did not remember to schedule this one ahead of time. There's nothing wrong with it, I just forgot, so it might be a little odd on the notifications. Name of the game is to do 10 runs of Gurub. Normally we do 11, but I think I want to keep this dude out in High Mountain, and I'll tell you why. I guess I'll tell you why now. Morning, Sub Victoria, Anna, Jamie, Kanman. So glad to be able to catch one of your streams. Welcome, Courtney. Wondering if this was happening. Yeah, no, it is. It is. I'm just getting my brain together. I really wanted to put out the first raid guide yesterday, and I was up really late working on it, and I just wasn't happy with it. It just wasn't ready yet. So that threw me off a little bit, but it should be done today. I'm almost done. I just need to clean up the graphics a bit and then do like the last like 30 seconds. So the reason why this dude's out here is because I am 13 of 20 on this achievement, and that's the only one that I still need. These ones are completed, just not on this character, but that's the only one that I still need for Free For All More For Me, which has a mount on it. So if I could just do this one world quest 7 more times, and it'd be fine. And the reason I was doing it on the Death Knight was because back in Legion there was an autocomplete that Death Knights could use for that, and I was doing that, but they took sorry. They took that out. So now I actually have to do it, and that means obviously I haven't been doing it, especially because it's always at a really awkward time. I can never catch this world quest when it's up. Like every other day, it's either in the middle of the night, and then on opposite days, it's at a slightly better time, but it's still really late. And I never log in whenever this world quest is up, which is the reason why I've been done the other ones since like when did I finish this? Like November of 2017. I finished all 3 of the other ones, but I just haven't caught up yet. I was looking for something to clean my glasses with. Do I need to clean them? I always clean them anyways, but I don't know. I can see. I can see. I don't know if I want these ones though. They pinch a little bit. I think I might wear the other ones. Hello from cold Norway. Good morning. Hi Hazel. How's your morning? Pretty good. Very good. It was supposed to rain on me this morning, but it didn't. And I wore my raincoat for nothing. I guess I don't mind. I have tea all over my hands. I knocked my straw out of my teacup. I haven't had enough of it yet. That's my problem. Okay. I'm a little it's a January franticness. Okay, so there's the world quest isn't up though. It's somewhere around here, and I would know if it was up, and it's not. So I don't think it's even ever up at this time. Log out of that guy. I'm going to leave him around here because that's the only way I'll ever get that done is if I just keep checking. And then we'll do the other ones. I think my priest is actually logged out by Artiller's farm, so maybe we can do some mop roleplay for a second. And morning from the cold north. How goes it? Morning, Sierra, right? It's going pretty good. Waking up my voice a little bit. Oh man. Did I get sweater on my tea in my sweater? I haven't worn this one in ages because every time I see it in the closet, I'm a little bummed out. I don't know how well you can tell on the camera. It might look fine on camera. I like the sweater, but I washed it wrong once. One time I washed it wrong, and it did that thing where they like pill really badly. And I don't know how to fix it. Like you can pull it off all day, but I think it's just that's the way it is now. Like it'll just make more. I don't understand where they're all coming from. But it's kind of like a wool blanket that's just been on your family's couch for 30 years. So it looks kind of awful in person, but I don't know if the camera picks it up, so maybe it's fine. This is my snake root farm. This is where I plant snake root because that's how you make gold in BFA apparently. It's not like the best thing you can ever do. But it's not bad. Like a 30 gold buys you the bag of seeds, right? And that gets you, I think, 2 days. It's 10 charges. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 2.5 days worth of planting snake root. And each one of these plants is giving me like on average, say 1 ghost iron and 1 trillium, and that's like a low bet. And the ghost iron's going to give me 10 gold, and the trillium's going to give me like 50. 30 to 50. Let's average that out and say 40. It's like 50 gold a plant. And we got what? 100, 2, 3, 4, 8, like 800 gold minus a little bit for the seeds. And it's annoying to do the farm, but I haven't done it for like however many years ago Mop was, so I'm you know, all of my farm burnout has had time to heal and recover. I'm ready to go back to the farm. Love your videos. Thanks, Rita. Played WoW for the first time after like 2 months the other day. It was awesome. I'm really liking 8.1. I am having a pretty good time, especially right now when we're in the part of the war fronts. I don't really like queuable war fronts. I'll do them once per cycle just to get my service medals. But I don't really like the queued experience. But what I do like is when my faction controls the zone. I didn't mean to click that. When my faction controls the zone, which is both zones right now for North America anyways, Alliance has both of them. There's world quests I can do, and the world quests get me out there. They get me killing mobs that might drop me pets and stuff. Oh, I got a mount yesterday from that. I went out and did my Darkshore world quests, and I stopped to kill a Lashineer. It wasn't even a world quest for it, but I got my Ashen Veil Chimera mount yesterday just because I was out there. Like, it's popping. It's cool. It's fun. It's what all the popular, cool, fun people are doing. Also, it's got like pretty jewels on it, so that's nice. Anyways, I got that. I also got a pet. I got a void jelly off a dude. So I'm enjoying it. I have all the pets from the Arathi one because I bought them because they weren't that expensive. I could just do that for the Darkshore ones, but I figure I'd rather. It's fun when you see them drop for yourself when you don't have them yet. So I figure I'll probably just try and get them the old-fashioned way. But Doggo is very regal. He knows he's pretty. He does know that he's pretty. He is well and thoroughly aware of exactly how magnificent he is. Although I think it annoys him more than anything because he would probably prefer the world just leave him alone. And when you take that dog out in any kind of crowded public space, there's nobody leaving that dog alone. Everybody wants to say hi. And I don't blame him. He's pretty cool. Am I out? That's it. I don't want to plan it the second half of it, so I'm just gonna deal with this half and then I'll go start my mount runs. Thinking about switching to a melee class, not sure where to start, what to play, any ideas. I don't have a lot of melee experience, but I was actually thinking about this myself this morning. Oddly enough, like weird coincidence. I guess it depends on what kind of armor type you want to wear, like what kind of sets look cool to you. Because I couldn't really tell you what the, like, I pick classes by aesthetics, so that's going to be my advice. Like, if you want to be a cat and be a feral druid, if you're into the whole monk thing, then you'd end up as a windwalker. If you like all the weapons, like the big, huge, like, axes and crazy swords, and you're looking at, like, a warrior, paladins have really cool animations. So I would just do it based on what looks cool to you. I had this weird daydream about playing a warrior in Arena. I was thinking, like, because I was thinking about, I don't have any words for what I was thinking about, so I'll get back to it after I've read some chat. Hello, Azel, he said with a jaunty fake English accent. Floyd here now. You can use a disposable razor to remove pills. Do they stay gone? What happens when I wash the sweater again? If I wash it correctly from now on, will it be okay? Because I really like, it's just like a nice loose one, but it's got like these buttons sort of here by the hips, so it has a tiny fragment of shape, which is more than I can say for 90% of my clothes because I cannot be bothered to wear things that hurt me. But, hang on, I'm going Dalaran, Karazhan, Zolgrub. Hey, Hazel and Chat. Hey, Christina, how are you doing? Sweater razor thing. I'll have to look into that. I mean, I have left over from my Dollar Shave Club days a good, healthy amount of disposable razors, so I could probably make something happen. Nilzors, thanks for the super chat. She's at it again. Awesome, Hazel. Have to leave you guys, but wish me good luck in progress today. Mythic Zekvoz, keep up the positivity. Good luck on Mythic. Oh man, Mythic Zekvoz looks hard. I wish you guys the very best, and cheers. How many mounts do you have? Looking like 410 total, but 358 or so if we're counting like the achievement number. Joker is an Alaskan Kleekai. That's true. Yeah, he is a full-grown Kleekai. He's not a husky. He just looks like one. He looks like a tiny, teeny, tiny little itty bitty husky. I need to drink more tea and possibly a little bit of water. He's been such a good boy with consistent dog cams. It's because I didn't have time to set up the fish cams. The dog cam is faster to set up. It's sketchier because, especially like on Friday streams, if my husband comes home, there's no way the dog's gonna like lay down and be in the same bed because he has to see what my husband's doing. But, yeah, it's faster to set up than the fish ones because, especially the living room fish cam, I have to close all the drapes. Otherwise, there's like way too much glare. And I need to clean Fleta's tank. It's got some algae right now, so it's not super pretty. I actually have my other tank set up in my office right now. So I was talking a little tiny bit last stream about how one of my White Cloud Mountain minnows was not doing very well. She was swimming oddly and gasping at the surface. She died, which was very sad. She died quite quickly. She lasted about a day after I started noticing something was up. And it's really hard to say what happened because I tested the water. That's the first thing I did is I tested the water and everything came up like absolutely normal. The pH was fine, temperature was fine, no ammonia or nitrites. The nitrates were completely normal, which is really low because that plant sucks them all out. Everything was fine and nothing had really changed. And they'd been fine for months and they'd been eating and they'd been fine. So I didn't really know what happened to her. But then I noticed the following day that another one was doing the same kind of thing, which was originally hiding down at the bottom of the tank, which was what she had done before she started gasping at the surface. And I figured, well, I don't know what's wrong with it, but clearly it's affecting more than one of them. So I took all of the minnows out because the rest of the fish still look normal, and you really don't want to medicate a fish if you don't absolutely have to. It can make things worse, but it was also kind of like what had happened to the cherry barbs when those first had problems. So I was real stressed about it. So I set up the quarantine tank again. I had some erythromycin left over. So I'm giving them a course of antibiotics, just the minnows, not the rest of the fish. And they're in my office getting that right now. They need another dose after the stream. But they look fine now. Which is just so weird because I don't know. I don't know. I'm stressed about it. I'm worried. Wait. Hang on. I saw a member, but I don't see it in my chat. Also, I think my chat's actually stuck because it's not moving very far past my last super chat. I think there's more. But hang on. I know another way to see it. Super chat and memberships. Maybe that was just like a leftover alert. If you just became a member and it didn't show up in chat, well, thank you very much for joining the Squirrel Squad. I don't know if that was an actual one or not, but in case it was, I appreciate you and I'm glad you're here. Electric razor thing just for sweaters. Oh, that sounds like something that I'm never going to buy. Why are you not doing toy videos anymore? I don't have anything especially against them. I've just been working on other stuff. What do you mean toy videos? Like toy collecting? I'm still kind of collecting toys a little bit. It's just BFA came out and there's like a lot of other stuff going on. Right now, for the next like 2 weeks video-wise, I'm pretty much only doing raid guides and then my normal streams. That's about it. Love your voice. You got the Chimera. I got the Bear yesterday from Darkshore. Nice. Haven't had a single Warfront mount drop. Haven't got a single BFA mount drop at all. Oh dear. You got some of the rep mounts though. Those are pretty cool. Especially the Horde rep mounts. I like those a lot. Okay, so that's it for the first character. Let's Hearth to the Hearthstone. The Garrison, apparently. Hearth to the Hearthstone. Hearth to the Garrison. What are you farming? We're looking for the Armored Rizashi Raptor. I already have the Panther mount, which is why I'm not stopping by the other boss, but I need the Raptor still. She rested in Fish Heaven with Wonky Boy. We were calling her Wonky Girl because she was kind of doing the same thing, and it stresses me out because I don't know how to diagnose them. They're very tiny. They're not showing any of the symptoms that are normally associated with like parasites or fungus or anything. There's no mouth fungus. They're not bloated. They're not really flashing or scratching themselves on anything. There's no ick. I don't know, but these ones look okay. And I'm starting to think that maybe they just weren't comfortable in the big tank for some reason. I don't know why, but in the big aquarium, they were eating and they were fine for months, but they were staying at the very top, even though it was a very well oxygenated tank. I had like two sponge filters running and it's like a long form tank. It's got lots of air. They were staying at the top and they would stay just kind of within like 4 or 5 square inches, even though they had the whole tank and there wasn't really anything else fighting them for space at the top. So And now that I've put them into this quarantine, even though the tank is half the size, they're moving around it a lot more. They're in the middle and the bottom, and they're chasing each other around. They're still not eating very well, but they're behaving a lot more naturally. So I'm wondering if maybe they just don't like one of my other fish. Like, I never saw anybody bother them, but maybe they're not comfortable with one of the other fish that I have in there. So maybe they just need their own tank. I got the Dark Shore Bear mount yesterday. I think that's the first mount drop since I started watching Hazel. I mean, you've been watching a while. That's some luck. Isn't the delay pretty bad with the Bose headset? Are you playing with it? I am playing with it, and I've never had a wow sound that I needed to hear all that fast. I don't think that the delay is very bad. Like, I can be watching a movie or a YouTube video on it, and you don't notice any, like, sync delay with, like, watching a character's mouth and their words. I'm sure there is a delay, but it's so minute that it's not going to affect anything. I've PvP'd on it for years, and you're getting more latency from almost everything else, including your internet connection. I don't have the hive mind yet. No, that's kind of going into my procrastination barrel right along with Ball. How do you even get the pills in their tiny little fish mouths? I know you're joking, but typically what's done is there's packets, depending on the kind of medication. Some of it's liquid and you measure it out in milliliters. I have like a little syringe for that. And these ones are little packets that you just empty into the water. And you just measure out how much you need for the amount of water you have. My quarantine tank is a 10-gallon tank, which is a really convenient size for medications. So I just do one packet. You sound much better, much less congested. Why, thank you. I'm feeling perfect. I'm still like a tiny bit congested, but it mostly only kicks up when I'm talking a lot. I'm pretty much good now, which is a relief. I am enjoying BFA. The day's been pretty good so far. It just got started. I haven't been awake that long. I got up at like 7:30, which is kind of my like, well, this is fine wake up time, you know? Like, if I am on my game and I am like living my best life and being my best me, I'm getting up at 6 and then having breakfast and taking care of a bunch of like littler things before I leave for my walk at like 7 so that I can get back by 8 and actually start my day. But that's overachieving Hazel's schedule, and that's not what we're on right now. So I got up at like 7:30, just threw on some sunscreen and then walked the dog, which is like a 45-50 minute thing. And then just got back, had some breakfast, slapped on some makeup, and sat down to stream. That's about it. I'm able to heal the older, right? Nice, Elena. Favorite battle pet based on cuteness? If we're going by cuteness alone, off the top of my head, my favorite has to be Chi-Chi. Well, I like the little birds with the beaks like Chi-Chi, but I also so Chi-Chi, hatchling of Chi-Ji, is like the OG cute favorite, but the coastal sandpiper that they added in Legion, who I have named Cheep Cheep because I'm really cool, is kind of the same thing, but like in a more realistic bird. I think that's like the cutest one. I would have a painting of that, like a 6-foot tall painting of that, adorning my foyer if I lived in a place that had a foyer, which I don't. Hi Hazel, hey Lincia Full, Boozy. Hope you don't mind me just looking at the cute dog. It's so darn adorable. Quite all right. You guys, you can mute the stream if you want. I won't be offended. You can. It doesn't matter. You can just be here for him. He's a good boy. That's his new that's his alligator crocodile toy thing in front of him there. During Wintervale, I got Grumpus twice in one day, one to keep and one to sell. That's some luck. That's always really nice when it's a mount that you can sell, because there's nothing, I mean, I'm sure there's many things that are worse, but it's a bad feeling when you have a mount drop that you already have and there's nobody around and you're just like, I'm just gonna delete it because there's nothing else you can do, and just don't tell anybody, because it, you know, nobody wants to hear the story of somebody deleting a mount that they've been trying for like months. I had it happen with one of the, it wasn't on stream, but I've had it happen with one of the Malagos mounts. I had already had one and it dropped again before I got the second one, and I was doing the run by myself, so I couldn't share it. I do have Rivendur's mount. I do. I have most of the dungeon mounts, actually. Those are the ones that I started farming well before the raid ones. So this is one of the only old dungeon maps that I don't have. Obviously, anything new, like anything BFA, I'm missing still. Cat spotted. She was here. She was kind of looking like she wanted up, but she's left now, so she must not have wanted it that badly. Getting ready for work. Happy to see you. Happy New Year. Thanks, Alexis. Bit obsessed with correcting stuff like numbers. It's all right. Attention to detail. It's important. It's a valuable life skill. Okay. Laying in bed sick. I'm dreading work. Oh no, you can't take any time off? I know you can't always do that, but that really sucks. My dogs are owing since you said walk. I'm sorry. That's like the pet version of when people, and I won't say any of them just in case somebody has speakers on, but when people say the phrases that activate smart speakers and assistants, like asking for Siri or Alexa or whatever, and then like anybody watching with speakers has their devices go, yes, can I help you? What can I do for you? It's like that, but with dogs. Love the baby platysaur. That's true. I don't think I have that one yet. I don't think I bought it. I'm still saving very slowly, as you can tell. I'm up to like 1.6 mil. It's not going very quickly. I haven't really been trying. I need to make another... after the raid guides, I need to finish my new TSM guides. I'm only like halfway through that series because every time I make a TSM video, I actually like clean up my groups a little bit and play a little more. Because in between them, I'll do like this is just stuff that I pick up and like a few things that I'm flipping, but it's nothing like the operations that I do when I'm actually working on it. Raid team finally got Zol down, and now my hunter has a blood crog as one of her pets. Nice. What kind of things do you like to focus on in Stardew Valley? Everything. I prefer the animals. I really like having the barns and with pretty much everything. I've done all of the animals, but those are my favorite way to make money on my first run, which I haven't quite made it to the beginning of year 3 yet, which is when you get like your evaluation, but I have like maxed friendship with every villager, but like 2 of them I'm like 1 or 2 hearts off with Sandy, I think. And then I have the community center done. I have what else? All of the skills maxed out. So I'm considering that save file more or less done. And that was like an animal focused one, and in that one I married Sebastian. So in my new save file, and I haven't been playing these over the last week, I've been a bit busy, but in my new save file I'm going a little more farm oriented, a little more crops. So, and that one's pretty early on, and I think I'm gonna pick up Harvey in that one because, you know, he's a grown-up with a job and a mustache. Who's not into that? Multiple 6-foot paintings of Cheap incoming to mail time. Oh no. I feel really bad when people send me wall art because I don't have room for it. I can't put it up. I just have a collection of stuff that I could put up on walls, but I don't have walls for them. Love the Cinder Kitty pet. More Zul'Gurub today. More Zul'Gurub today. I've been slacking on this. I have been not here lately, so gotta catch up. Hi Hazel, first stream in a long time. Welcome back, Cody. My friend is trying to get a bank full of Rivendares. He's got quite a percentage already. A bank full of them? Why? Of all of the things that you could put your WoW time. I mean, I guess do whatever makes you happy. But, I mean, maybe he's already got all of the other things he could possibly want. You could use that grinding energy for so many things. There's so many things that if I had the extra time and that kind of like neurotic, obsessive grinding energy for, there's so many goals in WoW that could still be accomplished. Here, I know you said it like ages ago, but the PvP pet video thing, it's still one day. It's still one day. Watch it come out like 2 expansions after we filmed it and nothing is relevant anymore. It's a legend now. First time watching you stream, love your videos. Welcome, David. This is pretty much, I think, a good representation of what you can expect. We don't ever do anything too crazy gameplay-wise on the stream. Usually just like Matt runs or on Fridays, sometimes like island expeditions or time walking. But, you know, there's usually a pet cam. And I like to chat as much as I can. I was able to take 2 weeks off when I got sick. It's really, especially if, and I know here you don't necessarily do this, but if you're in a situation where your workplace is in proximity to a lot of people that you could potentially infect, it's just so much better to stay home if you can. And you get better faster if you can give yourself the time and the permission to recover and like rest. And I was so upset about it because I had just gotten back from Canada, so I had just had a week off, and when I got the flu, and I really felt like I needed to get something, like I needed to do something, but I just, you know, it just wasn't happening, so I just gave up and laid on the couch and watched K-dramas for like 4 days. And I'm better now. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but I'm also coming from a place of incredible privilege where I can do that. Not everybody can do that. What am I doing? That's not the mount. All right, let's, next one. 1.6 mil. That's like not enough for an auctioneer mount though. That's how I measure gold is, will this buy me an auctioneer mount? No, not enough. Not rich yet. I bet, I mean, Samandres, or Samandres? About world drop, hang on. As to what sells better between battle pets and world drop transmog, I'm leaning towards the transmog. It depends on how valuable it is. Like medium value transmog, I bet would sell faster. They both have really low sale rates. But oh, I need to tighten something here. There's something that I know this one can do it. Oh, it's this one. Sorry about that. That's gotta be loud. All right, next one. Suggestions and professions. I know it varies by server. Alchemy might get good again with the new raid coming out. It might not. I'm actually thinking of sort of branching out across a couple of different alts, so that I can do like I'm not really interested in crafting professions, but I might have 1 or 2 on some alts so that I can craft things to what do you call it? Scrap for expulsum if I need it. I don't know. I'm thinking of just diversifying. I don't know what's good though. My favorite is still enchanting. just a D. I don't even craft enchants. I just buy them, but I disenchant stuff. Excuse me. Pardon me. Mount you going for? I'm looking at doing Eye of Eternity and Dragon Soul for these Zerd Blazing Drakes. Both good ones. I'm here in sunny Northern Stranglethorn looking for the Armored Rizashi Raptor from Zul'Gurub. I left work early last week because I'm sick. I'm within my 30 days of my new job, so I don't want to call in. Oh, that's rough. Oh, I feel you. I wouldn't want to either. Oh, man. I wish I could have a last name for my WoW tune. It's one of those things I doubt they would ever do, but I'm always really surprised and like kind of excited when I play another game that lets me do that. Especially some games, I don't know what other games do this, but I know Black Desert does. They have a family name. So your characters have a last name, but you choose it, and that's your last name for your account. So all of your alts have the same last name. And I really like that. I'm sure some people don't, especially if there are probably valid reasons why you wouldn't want somebody to be able to visually identify your alt without having to like look you up online or anything. But you know, it would give you a little freedom to not, like, I have all my characters named Hazel because I want it to be really easily recognizable in guild chat or whatever that it's Hazel, even if I'm on my 93rd alt. But if there was a last name, then it would be different. The spider dress, that is a good question. It's a MOG, it's a BOE drop MOG. I don't remember where it's from. It was kind of expensive. I think I actually had it drop for me and then was trying to sell it for a while and then got frustrated and just learned it because I liked it, is I think what happened with that. I've had it for a while. I can check actually after this. I can log back onto it real quick and check what the name is and look up what it's from. I want to say like level 50-ish dungeons, but I might just be making that up. That's like a day before Christmas, so it coincided with a natural break. Completely lost the voice. I couldn't work if I tried. Yeah, I learned last time I tried to make a video anyways without a voice that people don't like that, and they want you to stop. So I stopped. Nobody wants it. All right. Get this one out of here. I'll check that transmog real quick. Greetings from Iceland. Is it worth farming some other dungeon or raids if you're thinking of gold making? Anything in TBC, Wrath, or Kata? For gold, not really. The transmogs from those raids still have not, or from those expansions still have not caught up in value to the classic ones, just because there's so many classic ones. And there are pets that you can get from them, but they don't sell terribly well. And the gold value from vendoring all the stuff has kind of gone down the drain too, so it's not going to be quite as good. It's still worth doing if you want any of the transmog. Like, you'll still make gold. It's just not usually going to be as much. Okay, so this robe is called Hibernal Robe. And if I look that up on Wowhead. It's a item level 51 BOE green. Called it. Dropped by, yeah, so I probably got it at a Blackrock Depths. I used to farm that a lot. But Blackrock Depths, Strathholm, that kind of range of dungeon, it's a green set from there. They tend to, or at least back then they used to sell kind of well, because it's a nice looking dress. It's got like the big spider on it. You've got like a really deep V, which people like, and then I also like that it's backless. If I'm gonna have like a fancy dress showing extra skin, I would prefer it to be backless than frontless. You can have last names with TRP3. True. You have a point. You're not wrong. A lot of runs this morning, still didn't drop it. One day. One of my favorite staff appearances. This staff? I was really surprised to find that. Like, I had already learned it somehow. I think what happened is that's a jewel crafting staff. That's a crafted jewel crafting staff from BFA Jewel Crafting. And I had bought it just to have a weapon, I think. I think I just needed a staff for some reason. So I bought it and then learned it and then found out that the appearance is really cool. Do you ever think they would make an option on WoW to make your character left-handed? It doesn't matter too much, but it would be nice. If I was gonna put out a prediction, I would say they will never do that. Even though it would be nice, because it would be one of those things where it's a good amount of work that almost nobody is going to notice. It's cool, and I think it would definitely add to the game. But whether or not that balances out the effort it would take for them to put in it is a call that I don't think that they would make. Or at least I don't think they would make it in favor of adding left-handed characters. Asked for a suggestion on a gnome main. Came up with Edie last night. That's a good one. Love your positive energy, good vibes. Keep up the good work. Thanks. S. Gilmore. All my tunes, Alliance and Horde, have heart in their names. I used to make up a different name for every character. I used to like come up with RP names based on the characters. Not so much the race, not so much the class, mostly just their race. And they always had like absurd amounts of vowels in them. But I think the only one that I still have is I think my warrior is still named Evelyn. But that's about it. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Not really. I'm on the new hit popular train of resolutions don't really change anything, and if you want to change, you should just change. But that doesn't mean that I'm not trying to change anything. I'm just not specifically tying it to 2019. I am really trying to get better control over my schedule and my time management, and just control over what kind of media that I consume. I have some bad media consumption habits that I am working on overcoming because they're not good for me and they don't work for me. So I'm working on that. Flabby, haven't seen you in a while. Flabby's here. When did Flabby show up? I'm missing stuff. What's up, Flabby? Make videos with the intention of them being evergreen, so making one with a sick voice is a big no-no. Good point. Good point. Yeah, the one that I did with the sick voice was the my infamous trying classic video, and the reason why I did it was because I was under the impression at the time that the demo was going away like the next day. It turned out that they extended it for a couple more days after that. I still would have been sick. It wouldn't have mattered. But the reason why I made the video while I was dying was because I thought I had to if I was gonna make a video with the demo. And I don't know if that video would have done well anyways. Never noticed that dress had a spider on it. It matches my spider mount. You know, because that's the bank alt, right? And like the spider mount is the big gold, you know, the big money baller gold thing. And then I have the spider dress to go with my spider mount. Hibernal robe is my New Year's Eve dress. Same old. What are looking forward to pet battles in 8.2 and PvE play? We don't have a whole lot on 8.2 yet. We have what they told us at BlizzCon. And I don't think they've really given us much of anything on pet battles in 8.2 yet. And then for PvE, I thought they talked about like a raid in a new zone or whatever, but it's a little too early to be worrying about it yet. I'm mostly concerned with the new raid that's coming out in like 2 weeks. I'm worried about that one. New raid and a new PvP season. There's no time for me to worry about 8.2 yet. Also, I need to do another, I don't think I'll do it on stream, but I need to do another Nomergon run. Because I already have my Alarma Dog. As it turned out, I had actually accidentally listed it. I was talking about this last stream. I had accidentally listed my Alarma Dog because I had like caged it to show in a shot in a video that you can and forgotten to relearn it. And then when I did my post scan, because it was on my bank alt, when I did my post scan, I accidentally posted it. But thank goodness I posted it for like the value, which is 300K, and it didn't sell. So I rescued him off the auction house and I apologized profusely, and now he's my buddy. But I get the leper rat next, and that's gonna be today. New to the channel, is your dog a mini husky, regular size? Hard to tell from the video, so cute. He is an Alaskan Klekai, which is essentially a mini husky. They look like huskies, but they stay small. They're a miniature breed. What makes you want to level up a character? Can't find the joy in it. I just get bored while leveling. I have been kind of in your boat for a while, as evidenced by my level 20 Dark Iron Dwarf alts. But I used to level obsessively. And for me, it was that I would be playing the game at max level and I would see somebody somewhere, you know, they would catch your eye. They would be like, you know, that one character in a dungeon that just blows everybody out of the water on meters. You know, that one person that's doing really well in LFR. You know, they fly by you while you're doing a world quest. Mostly it would be people that had impressed me with their DPS or numbers in some way during some kind of a pug scenario. And I would see them and I would see their race and class and transmog and be like, wow, that's cool. You know, what am I doing being a human priest when that person's being a gnome warlock and they're looking really cool? So I would basically get grass is greener syndrome and then and the funny thing is I wouldn't even exactly copy the class that I had seen, but it would get me thinking about different combinations that would be really cool. And then I would make a new thing and I would be convinced that I would like come up with some kind of justification in my head for I'm going to use this for this reason. I want this alt for dungeons. I'm going to pug raids on this one. I'm going to do XYZ. I'm going to have these professions, and you would have like a profile in your head. And I would spend time leveling alts because I would fall in love with the concept of them. And then, of course, once I finished leveling, I would immediately get over it and then want to do it again, which is why I spent multiple expansions doing nothing but leveling alts. These days, I'm over it. I did it, and I'm past it now, especially because I have all my alts already. Like, if I want to play something, I typically have it, and I'm not so worried about what race it is that I need to reroll it or anything. When I was running a Nixian's Lair for her mount, hang on, I scrolled down last time. Okay. Kept on grinding for it when it was in my mage's bag all along. Still don't know how long I had it in the bag. Oh no. Dog good? Good dog. All of my characters in the main room have hero, but on other servers I like to get creative. That's not a bad idea. I've gone the wrong way. You could have a little anonymity on your alt servers. I probably should have done that with like I have a couple characters that are on other servers that don't need to be associated with me at all. 358 or 9 or so ish mounts as far as the achievement goes, but like 410 in terms of total. I love that classic video. Oh, thanks. I'm glad somebody did. Do you know how to get the Island Thunder Scale from Island Expeditions? I want the Dragon mount so bad. All the Island Expedition mounts, that except for the ones in the vendor, and the Thunder Scale's not one of them. All of those regular Island mounts just drop at the end of the islands. It will only drop from an island if that island contained the corresponding mob type. So for the, let's see, Thunder Scale, it would be the like the Valor, well, I don't know, mobs that look like that. There's like a category of mobs that are associated with that, and if those were present on the island, then when you finish the island, you will have a chance to get the mount, and it'll be a higher chance if you did the island on a higher difficulty. And the chance sucks. The mount chances are horrible, so I wouldn't hold your breath. It might be a while. I have a phone app suggestion for you. Sectograph on Android. Struggle with time management. Found it very helpful. Great if you end up looking at your phone a lot. I appreciate the suggestion, first of all. To thank you for the kind thought before I shoot it down. First of all, I'm an iOS person. I've got an iPhone. And I'm sure there's many great time management apps on iPhone, and I've tried a bunch of them. I don't know. I feel like I've tried so many solutions. I've tried a lot of paper solutions too. I've tried big paper calendars. I have my legal pad list that I would do every day. I would do checklists. I would do time block management. I would do time logging. I would do journaling. I would do all sorts of different things like habit trackers and chain trackers and all sorts of stuff. And I don't know. Some of it stuck for a while, but I think I'm letting go of the idea that I just haven't found the right thing yet, because that kind of shifts responsibility from me to get myself together and do things correctly, and just like puts the blame on, oh, well, I didn't find the right tool yet. Plenty of people were plenty successful without any tools, and while I'm sure they're helpful, if I just say that that's my problem, is that I don't have the right one, then that's just, you know, a cop-out. So I've kind of given up looking a little bit. Ezra, thanks for the super chat. Love the stream, Hazel. 7th Legion rep grind time. Have fun. At least that's a nice easy rep to grind. You get rep from that from so many different places. You get it when you do incursion quests. You get it, obviously, world quest, the opposite faction, but you're also going to get it from Warfronts. You get it from the Warfront world quests. You get it all over the place. I have, for my, not on this character, but for Paragon rep caches opened, I have opened like 3 or 4 of the 7th Legion ones, which isn't that many, but 3 or 4 of the 7th Legion ones, and none from anybody else. And part of that's because I'm grinding the, I'm trying to pick up the medals for the, I want the Priestess's Moonsaber, the 7th Legion service medal amount, the big one. There's also a smaller one that I could buy right now, but I'm saving up for that Moonsaber. But so I'm grinding service medals, so you tend to get a lot of that rep. Man. Any chance we get a fish cam? Probably next stream. Probably next stream. I don't know if I've ever actually had anybody ask for a fish when I had dog out, though. Usually the dog's the favorite. Clicking or slight distortion from the sound. Thought it'd been a while. Yeah, no, the nuts have been gone for like months. Months and months and months. Yeah, the Drake is a recolor of the Stormwing mount. That's why I couldn't remember if it was tied to like the Valor Yar? I still don't know. Mobs on islands, or if it's something else. My time management includes trying to force myself to take breaks because I work too much. Good job. Breaks are important. Yeah, I don't know. I go through phases. I compensate, right? Like I'll be procrastinating and stressed about it and a little depressed and not getting much done and just feeling awful for ages. And then I'll finally snap out of that and get back to work, and then I overdo it, and then I burn out, and then I go back and forth between those two things. Haven't figured out a medium yet. I don't know how to be medium. Kiwi and the Dog Boy, thanks for the super chat. I love your content and your husband for supporting you. I hope you both the best. Thank you. That's so sweet. Get the ring. I already have a 4-minute Hearthstone back to Borealis. What do I need a teleport ring for? It's so expensive. It's so expensive. And morning, wishing you luck with ZG. I'm going for the Kara Midnight Horse. Good luck, Steven. Can never make up my mind when it comes to choosing a race in a class. Every time I pick one, I delete it because I just can't get into it. Any advice? I really want to enjoy it. The thing that worked for me, because I did used to be like that, the thing that worked for me was when I ended up in a social situation where I had to stick with something. I got into a raiding guild. I did not stop like my alcoholism until the day I joined a raiding group that I was committed to. And I decided for that group, okay, I need to pick something and be it. So I'm going to be a shadow priest. And I had my gnome or I think she was a human at the time, but I was like, I'm going to be my shadow priest. And I've been that ever since. It was just because it would be inconvenient for my group if I switched. And I sort of reached a critical mass of time spent on it where it feels like my main now. I feel like something just kind of has to force you to stick with one for long enough for you to really fall in love with it. But that's just a theory. Have to find the right technique before worrying about tools. I mean, isn't a technique a tool? What's the difference? That's a responsible way to view your habits. You are past the hardest part of admitting it's a problem. I wish admitting it's a problem was the only part, because then I would be done. Why is there a check mark next to Bill? Is Bill verified? Yeah, no, Bill's verified. I might have one too. I think I'm verified. Switch to 720. Sound distortion is annoying. I don't know what to do about that. It looks okay on my end, but I always say that. I don't know. I don't know what else I can do. What if it's a YouTube thing? What if YouTube stream's just not the right platform? I don't know. I should make not an announcement. That sounds too serious. I updated the name of my Twitch account just in case anybody's looking for the old one. It's like, oh no, it's gone. It's not Hazelnutty8 anymore. I updated my Twitch account so it's Hazelnutty Games, just so it matches. I didn't feel good about it. I don't really like having games tacked on my name, especially on Twitch. Like, it's obvious. Like, what else am I there for, right? But because it's part of my usernames on other platforms, I figured it would be best just to make them match. So I did update that. I need to get some new panels for it because it's the end of season and I need to grind out my hippo mount, and I'll never do it if I don't have the accountability of being like, well, I should stream it, and I don't want to stream it on YouTube. Burnout can kill the good work habits. Thoughts on Void Elf racials? I don't think I used it as much as I should have. I raided as a Void Elf. Did I raid as a Void Elf? No, I switched back right before raid, but I was gearing up, and I was so excited about the prospect of specifically the travel one, the teleport one, and I was like, I'm going to use this for all sorts of great raid situations, and I'm sure it's good for all of those situations, but I never got the hang of using it. I would never remember. I really do miss, though, the lack of spell pushback when something's hitting you. That's a nice one that you can very easily take for granted and get used to, and then it's gone. You're like, oh, no. I miss that. What is this work that you speak of? Thoughts on... I already answered that one. Boyfriend bought me a level boost so we could play together, and that's how I got my Warlock main. The Void Elf portal is not completely useless. I just failed to make use of it. Going on 2 weeks for choppy sound. The Scythe, I have my Dark Iron Dwarf Warlock. I don't know, but I can check it out because I am done with my runs, so I can log back over and take a look. If I did stream on Twitch, it would not be replacing this, and it would not really be like this. It would be at different times. These ones would still be on YouTube. Because we've been over this. We did polls, and we've been over this. But it would be only arena, like only PvP. Oh, I'm not done my runs. I have 2 more left to do. That Scythe. Let me check. Alright, Hazel, nice channel. I follow you from Chile. Thank you. Good call to have the names match. Yeah. I don't know. Dog reminds me of one of the dog memes. You can make some good memes off of this dog. He's got some good meme-worthy faces. Staff of Justified Sins. What's that one? Let me look it up. I wouldn't remember, but I can search it up on... I just have a Wowhead keybind. Not a keybind, a bookmark. Okay, that's a Warlock quest. Okay, so you know, that's like a level 20 Warlock quest. So that's Warlock specific. There are sizes that you can get that are not Warlock specific, but that one is from that. I think it's in Shadow. Yeah, it's a Shadowfang Keep weapon quest. Every class gets one at level 20. You go into Shadowfang Keep, you get some stuff, and then you bring it back to Starmine or Orgrimmar, and they'll make you a special class themed staff. So that's just what that is. Video is fuzzy until I switch my setting quality up. Clicked from 720 back to 1080. It's gone now. It's got to be a YouTube compression thing. It's got to be something to do with YouTube. Stream looks fine. Watching on a Chromecast. Like to be able to subscribe on Twitch. Oh man, it's just it's not that I don't want people's Twitch Prime subs. It's not that. It's just I have right now some difficulties with getting content out, and I'm doing my best, and you guys are so patient with me. But I also have I'm monetized in a variety of ways. Like people, you know, we have like the stream memberships that you guys get. We have Patreon, and there's also merch. And I feel like just having so many ways, not even like forget the merch, but so many ways for people, too many different ways for people to give me $5 a month just feels really awkward. Like I would hate for somebody to be already subbed to one of the things and then be like, oh, well, why don't I get all of it? Right? Like, especially with like the YouTube membership and the Twitch thing, just having too many of them just doesn't, I don't like it. I might end up doing it, but I don't want to, I really wouldn't want to push it. I don't want anybody to feel like they need to. Prefer to use YouTube. It is possible to simulcast to YouTube and Twitch. I wouldn't do both at the same time. Both because if I did have a Twitch partnership, I would not be able to stream the same stream, like the same exact stream. I could do different streams on YouTube, but I couldn't like multi-stream it. And then also the thought of trying to keep up with 2 chat rooms makes me want to claw my eyes out. I could barely do one. How hard did you rock MySpace back in the day? I missed MySpace, actually. I got in on early Facebook and then got out not that long after, but I didn't actually do MySpace. You know what I had, though, is I had a Gaia Online page. I don't remember anything about it, except that there was some weird stuff that was not age appropriate for the age that I was using that website. I was too busy on Neopets, man. Set days and times you stream live like this? Yes. For this Mount Run stream, you know, barring illness, always 9 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday mornings, and it usually goes for like an hour, hour and a half. 2 hours is usually like the longest one. They're usually closer to an hour, like not a very long stream. And then Friday afternoons, we do 2 hours every Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Some kind of toy or summon that has a gnome talking. Yeah, that's Bug Grabber. It has this little squeaky sound file that says, I got a thing. And that just means that it's found a bug. And I should probably check on it, but I'm lazy and I usually only look when it's a problem. Gotta think the odds of seeing a cat spitting drinking. Oh man, I don't know if I would go that far. I might be able to swear, but I don't even know if it's worth it. I don't know. I don't think I would drink. It's still, we still gotta be professional. Plus, when I drink, I get mean. Like, I'm not hitting anybody, and I'm not usually talking to people that aren't my friends, but I'm kind of a bully. As a pet collector, I refuse to buy the auction house. Any tips on getting Ore Eater? Isn't that one just a random drop when you mine stuff? You might just have to keep mining. Like if you're not gonna buy it, you might just need to keep mining. That's as best as I know. It's been a while. Zanga pre-MySpace, get on my level. You are definitely more OG than me. Old school cool. I mean, I don't think it was that long ago. How are you today? How's the fishy doing? How late am I? Welcome, Tiffany. You're not that late. I'm doing pretty good. The sick fish didn't make it. And the rest of them, not the rest of all of my fish, but the rest of that specific type of fish, all of my minnows, are in the quarantine tank right now, getting treated with some antibiotics, because that's my best guess as to what's up with them. I don't know. I don't know how to figure it out. I know some people that are like really dedicated fish people, because there isn't really like a fish vet, especially for a tiny minnow fish like this. Like people buy these to feed to their fish for like 10 cents a pop. Nobody's really trying to treat them. I know some really dedicated fish keepers will have like a microscope, and if like they had a sick fish, they'll do an autopsy, like dissect it and look under the microscope for signs of parasites and bacteria. But I just would have no idea how to even do it. And also, that would be really sad. I don't know if I know it's just a minnow, but it sucks. And I don't think I would have it in me to do an autopsy on my buddy. I do take a look at them to make sure there's no obvious signs outwardly, but I don't think I could cut her open. Why can't I mount up? Why? Let me mount up. We can't do that yet. Oh, it's because I have a costume on. That's why. That's why. Mystery solved. I am still enjoying BFA, yes. New pets consume my weekends combined with RuneScape. Must now resist the urge to check out old accounts. Once every like 4 years, I go back and take a look at my Neopets account and then play like some Mirka Chase and then go back to forgetting about it again. I have one character in Horde side. I actually started to level her. She's 111 now. But yeah, I mostly just stay alive. It's not even for the guild. Like, my guild only needs my main, really. My guild has no use for all of my alts. I don't raid with them or anything. They're just in the guild. But, I like keeping most of my gameplay confined to one faction and server because that lets me share gold. So if I pick something up on one character, I can sell it and use that towards my auctioneer mount fund. You go into No More God and short shame the little peeps. Oh, no. Oh, how could I? It's so cruel. Found ice cream in my freezer I didn't know I had. Nice. Epic classes. Why, thank you. Loving a dark iron or a dark phoenix hatchling along with my new main. They're growing together. Oh, that's adorable. They're your babies. I know. I know. I hope that the rest of them do okay. I don't know what to do if they do get better. Do I put them back in the other aquarium? Like, the other one is bigger. They should, by all, it's bigger and it's better planted. Like, my main tank, and the parameters are really good. I don't know why they don't like it there. But they do seem happier in this tank. Maybe I just keep them in the 10. Maybe I just, like, spruce it up a little bit for them and let them stay in there by themselves. They're also not a great ratio anymore. There's 5 of them now. And 3 of them are males, and they're kind of harassing the females. And, it would be a better ratio to have like a couple more females so they outnumber the males, but I don't really want to buy more of them. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I love my babies, but they stress me out. Which filter for 35? Looking into getting my tank back up and running. I would get, the one that I like is the, oh, what's it called? Is it Aqua Clear? Let me double check that because I know there's like a bunch of names that are like the same sounding name, but they're not the same filter. It's a hang on back filter because I think that as long as you're under, yeah, so like an Aqua Clear 50, because I always like to go a little over, depending on what fish you're keeping in it. If it's something that really doesn't want a strong flow at all, then maybe go for a less intense filter. But if your fish don't mind some water flow, it's usually healthier to have some more movement. So like a slightly oversized Aqua Clear filter, and then get a intake sponge. Like it's this little sponge sleeve that you stick over the intake, and that'll help keep the filter cleaner. You squeeze it out every time you clean the water, and it'll also be more surface area for the bacteria. That works really well. They're not super expensive, and they're super customizable because you've got just this whole tray for your media, and you can use the media they give you, or you can chuck the media they give you, put whatever you want in there. So I have in mine 2 sponges, a layer of floss, and then a little bag of the biomedia, like the ceramic stuff. And that works really good. Aqua Clear. That's why we learned frog dissection in high school, fish autopsies. I never actually dissected anything in high school. We had some gross science stuff, but I don't remember what it was. Either that or I like got out of it somehow. I don't remember dissecting anything. You'd think I would remember that. Is the ram doing well? I read rams can be delicate. Might be thinking of Germans. Bolivians are a little hardier than the German blues. I've heard that the German blues are just super sensitive. He's doing great. He's actually, he's growing, not super fast because they don't grow super fast, but he's growing at a pretty good clip. He is super active. He's always harassing me for food, and his color is starting to really show up too, which I wasn't sure if it would. Because he's the only ram in there, I figured he might need more rams to really get his color out of him, but he's looking good. I think the problem a lot of people run into with Germans is German blue rams, I should be more specific, not German people. They don't keep them at the right pH. They're fairly soft deep water fish. They need a fairly low pH relatively, and if you don't have that and you're not adjusting for it, or if you are adjusting for it but you're not keeping it stable, that'll really stress them out and cause problems. Which is why I don't keep them, because I have, like, our pH out at the tap is like 7.2, 7.4. And I'd rather just get fish that can live in 7.2 pH than try to adjust it and have to worry about it, like, swinging rapidly. Okay, I'm gonna check to see if any world bosses are up that I could kill. The betta has to be on his own. I'm considering upgrading his tank just because, I don't know, he needs a birthday present. But, you know, he has to be on his own. He could, like, you can keep bettas with other fish, but I can't keep this betta with other fish. And they don't need it. They don't benefit, really, from having other fish like some fish do. So, he's good. He's been doing real good. How long have you been interested in fish aquariums? Not as long as you would think, listening to me rattle on about it. I just get really fixated on things. I picked it up around like March of last year was when I got my betta tank that's behind me that's blocked by my microphone. And I got that thing back in March, and then all downhill or uphill from there over the last year, but less than a year. I'm late, but hey Seraphim, how you doing? Legion was great minus the AP grind. I didn't mind the AP grind, like, it wasn't my favorite, but it didn't hurt me. But the thing I didn't like about Legion was the legendaries. Like, the actual gear was great once you had it, but the original legendary grind, especially because I got my best ones, like, last. I was so frustrated with that. I felt very ineffective for a very long time for something that felt very out of my control, and that was gross. Any tips on how to make gold in 8.1? Lucky for you, I actually made a video like last week with tips on how to make gold in 8.1. It's not everything, but it's some ideas in case that you need ideas. Never dissected anything, but those interested had a chance to go see an actual autopsy in a hospital. It was pretty interesting. I remember that was an option, actually, at our school. There was like a trip to the morgue was one of the things that you could choose to do. I definitely didn't go. Because every year somebody would faint. Every year somebody would faint at the morgue. And I just didn't want it to be me. I don't know if I would faint, but I don't know that I wouldn't. I love angels or rams, but I have hard well water. Don't want to deal with chemistry. It's a good call. It's a good call. I found out when I was up visiting my family that apparently my grandparents used to have fish. I didn't really know that. And I have this weird obsession with... As I get older, I think I'm just trying to recreate the house I grew up in and the things that my parents and my family kept. So a lot of the fish that I have now are based on the fish that my mom told me that she tried when we were kids, even though I don't even remember that fish tank. But she said that we had a gourami, and I ended up getting a gourami. She said that we had a pleco, and I can't keep that here, but I got some size-appropriate catfish. And I'm the same way with houseplants. Like, I'm just eternally trying to seek out the same houseplants that I had as a kid. I don't know why there's got to be a reason for that. But now that I've discovered that my grandparents, they apparently used to keep angelfish. Now I kind of want them. I've always been kind of sketchy on angelfish because I've heard, you know, they're cichlids. And apparently in groups, especially if they get like a weird drama dynamic, you know, they can pair and they can have babies and they'll fight, and you know, somebody eats a baby and then it's like a war. I don't know. It's angelfish drama. So I didn't really want to mess with them. But koi angelfish, they're like the black, white, and orange ones are so pretty. Dog is adorable. He does an adorable twirl before settling into his bed. He's got to curl up. Opinion on the Gmod mount? It's quite something. It's one of those ones that just looks too big though. Like, I'm not really going to get it because it's too rare for me. Also, it's still not seated correctly within this UI, but it looks just so big. Boogos, thanks for the super chat. Goodness gracious, that's generous. Always a good day when you stream, such positive vibes. Thank you. Thanks for coming and for your incredible generosity. $50. Goodness me. Appreciate that. Father-in-law's here for a small week to paint part of the stairs. How come you forget one of the best ways to make gold in the name? Stripping down, dancing on top of the mailboxes. Oh, man. You got to go to Goldshire to do that for maximum effect. Schools in the US and Canada seem to be way more interesting than in Poland. I had a slightly abnormal school experience, at least my high school experience, so I don't know how much it lines up to what everybody did. My school was weird. Hello from Ecuador. I'm cooking while I see you. Hello. What are you cooking? I want houseplants, but my cat. Yeah, if your cat won't leave them alone, most houseplants are toxic to cats. I think most of my houseplants would be toxic to my cat if she ate them. She just doesn't mess with them, and whenever she she's a good girl that's like pretty easy to train, and she also doesn't really eat things that aren't her food, which is nice. But if she's sniffing around something that you know she shouldn't be sniffing around, you just tell her, and you make like a loud noise and startle her a little bit. Like not, you know, I'm not like smacking her or anything, but you know, my husband will like snap, or you'll just like make a sudden noise, and then she goes, oh, and you tell her, she's like, oh, sorry, and then she doesn't do it again. So we did that a few times with the plants when I first got them, and she pretty much leaves them alone now. I don't have the frog mounts. It's gonna be a while. I need way, way, way more gold before I can get the frog mounts. Your dog is way calmer than my English bully. He's really chill right now because it's the part of the routine. It's the part of the day where nobody's going anywhere. Like, my husband's already left. And, sorry, I'm trying to get up to Undasta, but I don't even think he's even up. Husband's already left, and he knows I don't go anywhere, so he doesn't have to worry about it. If he has any concern in any fiber of his body that somebody might leave, though, it's all over. He's gone. He's nuts. Feel good game streaming? Oh, man. The one English bully, I bet. You always think bulldogs are going to be, like, really, you know, just sort of stoic and relaxed and kind of lazy. The one English bulldog I met is like a shark. Like, he'll jump up to try and lick your face, but he's a bulldog and he's huge, and he'll break your nose if he gets you good enough. We're sorry if we offended you. Your WoW guides are the best out there. Of course not. Was I offended? I wasn't offended. I don't even recall what was supposed to have offended me. Well, thank you. I have a mating pair of angelfish that live for 10 years and they're still kicking. What do they live with? Is it just the two angelfish in a tank? Do they have buddies? Do their buddies bother them? Do they bother their buddies? I have so many questions. When I leave my current apartment, hopefully I can have a patio with some sun so I can have some outdoor plants. That's the dream right there. I had a single plant once, but I have 10 cats. The poor plant never stood a chance. Oh no. My cat won't eat the plants. He'll just obliterate them. Is there a place that your cat can't reach? Which I know is a silly statement, but sometimes there is. You have such a good kitty. Mine's kind of a butthead. Your cat is asserting dominance. Do Kira and Joker interact with each other much? I never see them in the same room. They kind of pretend that the other one doesn't exist. They ignore each other with a dedication that's impressive. When we first got the kitten, she was tiny. She was a little itty bitty baby kitten, and Joker he's a dog that has a prey drive. Like, if he sees something running, he thinks it's like a rabbit or something that he can catch and shake until it's dead, he's going to. He's got that instinct in him. So we were very, very, very cautious when we got her to teach the dog not to chase the cat because we didn't want him to kill her because she was like this big. I mean, she was the correct age to adopt, but she's a runty little thing. She still is. And we overdid it. It's better to overdo it than underdo it, but the dog is now terrified of the cat because he doesn't want to get in trouble. So if she wants to lay down somewhere where he's laying, she'll walk up to him and stare at him, and he'll look really uncomfortable and then leave, or she'll like smack him. She pushes him around more than anything, but she doesn't really do it much because she just kind of looks at him like he's really gross, and she just doesn't want anything to do with him. The toy is his Christmas present that my sister got him for Christmas. It's a little squeaky alligator, and he actually learned how to squeak it. I was so proud of him, which I know is weird because it's a squeaky toy. You know, dogs should be able to figure that out. But, like, he never really squeaked squeaky toys before, and he actually squeaks this one, like, a little bit, which is the right amount. You know, he's not obnoxious with it, which is miraculous, but he squeaks a little bit. Mine is 90 pounds and terrified of our 3-pound palm sheet. 4 pothos plants that hang out on my porch. My cats ignore everything. Pothos is actually the one that I have in the back of my 20-gallon aquarium that takes out the nitrates. It's incredible. I have like an extra light for it, and it just grows like nuts. I don't see myself quitting WoW anytime soon. I never say never, but it'd be weird. I've built my whole life around it. Angels ended up a little grumpy in the tank, especially for me. We'll all quit WoW someday. Will we though? What if we don't? What if it just keeps going and going and going and it just grows up with us and we can be grumpy old people, you know, retired together, all complaining that this next expansion's finally killed the game. Oh, it's up. I want to make sure that this person is here. She stood up though. She stood up. You've been waiting for it. Please be here. I want to, maybe, I'll wait for a little bit. I've been waiting anyways. I'll wait for a little bit. There is a place that my cat can't reach Europe. A Cory cat and the other small fish I got, they picked on them. Oh, that might be a good idea, actually. Like, Corys won't mess with anything because they're Corys. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're here. We're here. Corys won't mess with anything, and they're pretty much out of the angelfish's way, I'm assuming. Like, angelfish don't really look like they're spending much time in the bottom. That might be a nice tank. Sort of mic, I've got a lav one, but it's bad for recording videos. This is a Rode NT1A. And it's a little overkill, to be completely honest with you. It's a little overkill. Not strictly necessary. But, any desk mic that you can get off a desk, if that makes any sense. Like, a desk mic on a desk is picking up vibrations from your keyboard, and that makes the sound dirty. But if you have, if you can have it on, like, a shock mount on an arm, I used to have a Blue Yeti actually on a boom stand, and that did pretty good. It sounded almost exactly like this. It was like, I spent like 50% more to get sound that was 3% better. Bad diminishing returns. How long do you see WoW continuing for? No idea. Absolutely no earthly idea. Really impossible to say. Let's go camp at Shaw. You aren't doing world. I've heard world PvP invasions are really fun until it gets laggy. I've never tried them. I'm still very anti-world PvP. I'm already grumpy and old. You're embracing it though. Then you can be like, it's a satisfying kind of grumpy and old. A smart train of thoughts that WoW must end one day eventually. I don't think it'll end. I think it's just going to evolve. And it might evolve to have a place in your life that's a different place in your life. It might evolve to not match with your life anymore, and then you move on, and that's fine. Or maybe it evolves to have a bigger place in your life. I don't know. Hard to say. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to worry about it, though. Not much we can do. Got it already in Amazon. I have a BM800 on a boom arm for around 60, but it doesn't sound that crisp. Oh, you got the NT1A? Congrats. Make sure this is okay. This is an XLR mic, and maybe you're already on top of this, but just in case, XLR mic, which means that the cable is not something that your computer's just going to have a plug for. So you're also going to need an XLR to USB mixer. You don't need a fancy one. Mine has like one port really, but you will need an interface that will accept the XLR cable from your microphone and then connect it to your computer. Mine is a Pile Pro thing, I think. Corys are messing with the dwarf grass, trying to carpet with seeds. Seeds in aquariums scare me. I've never seen that done. Like, I've never seen that work. I've always just bought proper, like, actually grown plants. I commend you for trying. I'm already grumpy and I'm 19. You're a mage. Why didn't you port and then fly over? I don't know, man. I'm only halfway through my cup of tea and I've had it for an hour. It's getting cold. When people thought HOTS wouldn't end. That's a good point, but I think the thing with HOTS is it's not even technically ending. Like the esports scene, sure. They really killed that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good point. It could end. Our 90-pound hound dog is terrified of our gray cat. Harley decided to bug the cat one day. Dog got the cat attached to his face. Oh no. That will teach you. Got our mixer already? Oh, there you go. There you go. That's the stuff. I've never really felt a need for a great mixer. I'm sure that they do important things, otherwise people wouldn't spend money on them, but I've never really seen what it could do for me as somebody with just one mic input that does voiceovers. Taylor King, thank you very much for becoming a member. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Appreciate your support. Glad to have you here. I hope you enjoy your emotes in case that you are interested in using any of the stream emotes. The Canadian thing ever said. It's not that much. Although I I didn't used to be able to hear the accent, but I heard it a little bit when I went up north this time. I think I've been in America long enough for me to hear. It's just a couple of words that are said like a little differently up there, but I did hear it, I think. I am done farming ZG. I've done all my ZG runs for now. Made some London fog tea, but it just tastes like vanilla with milk. Oh, I can relate to that. Someone at the fish store told you to do it. My advice is don't. Save up the money and do it separately. Add grown grass later. Plants are hard. Plants are hard. They're worth it, but they're hard. Do you play all year round, and is WoW all you play? Do you ever take breaks or get tired? I played for 10 plus years. I'd like WoW expansions to stop coming. I play all year round. I will play more or less based on the patch cycle and what I'm feeling, but I do play pretty continuously, and I don't really play much else, like, consistently. I'll get into phases where I'll play other games a lot for, like, a few weeks, and then I'll come back to WoW. I played Stardew Valley recently. Pretty obsessively. I put about 110 hours into it over the course of like a month. And then I'm back to WoW now. Do you have a stream deck? I don't, and I'm interested. It's one of those things that I don't like getting extra stuff to go on my desk because it just makes it harder to clean my desk. But I could see some uses for it, but you don't really need it. But it might be useful. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't have one yet, though. Thanks, Hazel. Amy, thanks for the super chat. Finally get to catch a stream and see my 1-year badge. Welcome back to the stream. Congrats on your golden acorn. Hots and WoW aren't really comparable. Have you had good luck with aquarium plants? I think I've had average luck with aquarium plants in that some of them just don't work out, and then you take them out and you go, well, that was a waste of money, and some of them do. But I'm not doing CO2 yet. I would like to get into that one day, but not yet. I'm not ready yet. So I have exclusively like low light, low CO2 plants that don't need CO2 injection. So I have a lot of Java Fern, a lot of Anubias. Those have always done well for me. In my, I like crypts, Cryptocore and Wendetti is like a favorite. I have a whole bunch of that in my other tank. And then just like some different mosses. Some of them work, some of them don't. But it's a pretty low light situation, so I'm trying to take it easy with that. My chihuahua's afraid of bugs. Oh no. My wife got the bully a stuffed duck, and now when he walks around, he looks like the dog from Duck Hunt. That is great. Is London fog tea good? Never had it. I've never enjoyed it. I'm sure there must be an incarnation of it that is good, but I've never liked it. A boot, classic Canadian accent. It was mostly people saying sorry. Like, Americans kind of make it like a sorry, and instead of sorry. And it's just more exact. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Most Canadians don't say a boot. I don't know why I get so irritated about people picking on Canadian accents. I always feel like it's a little mean, and I know it's not meant that way. Nobody's, like, saying that you're uncultured or anything if you speak a little Canadian, but... people give you a lot of heck for it down here. Hazel gang. More of a squad, less of a gang. The word gang implies violence to me. And I like to think that we're a fairly non-violent group of people. Shaw of Anger is per character. Per character. Most of the things that are per account are pet-based. Like, the Nomergon pet dungeon is account-based. But the world bosses are all... character-based. Playing since 06. Take short breaks. Right now I'm farming Nightfall Red. Really enjoy the BlizzCon videos. What was your favorite part? Well, thanks. I was thinking about this. I think about BlizzCon a lot. Mostly because it was just such a crazy different world to the one I've been living in my entire life that I think about it a lot. I just like walking the floor and talking to people. That was the best. It's like a magical world where I can talk to people that I don't even know. And some of them, like, it's not even like everybody knows me. Some people knew me, and that was weird. That was cool. But just like wandering around and sitting down and just chatting with people. It's not a skill that I have in normal life. I'm awful at small talk. I can barely interact with my dentist. I'm terrified of hairstylists. I'm just like, I can manage. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm a mess. Like, I'm not super socially capable, especially because I'm such a hermit. Like, it's gotten a lot worse because I don't go out ever. And, you know, it's not like it's a big problem, especially because I don't really need to go out. I can kind of do my thing here in my apartment and hang out with my animals and I'm fine. But it weighs on you a little bit. And just having that experience of being able to meet people and interact with them and like listen to their stories and like get to know people, even if it's just for 5 minutes in a line, was just something wild that I don't get normally, that you don't really realize how much you miss it until you can actually connect with people. That was the best thing. We're a gang, we're up to no good. Yeah, nobody's handing out free donuts up there. As a Canadian, do you speak French too? No. You do take French lessons in Canada. They're required in school, or at least where I went to, they were required. And there's a lot of French around. But I took French all the way through school, all the way up to French 12 in high school. But I've forgotten it all. It's all gone. My you know, you learn like the basics. You've got your bonjour. Je m'appelle Hazel. Comment ça va? Ah, ça va bien. That's it. I'm out. Je suis un petit bonhomme de neige. Oh, no, I don't have any French. Alcoholic syndrome is getting crazy. What do I do? You have to either pick one and commit to it, or give in and make all of the alts. People with kind of the same interests as you. Exactly. Every time I go to Seattle, someone picks out that I'm Canadian. They have a nose for it, and it's ridiculous, especially in Seattle. You know, they're like an hour drive south of the border. What difference does it make? But apparently it does. Yeah, French Canadians are out in Quebec mostly. New record time on Spine. Because of social anxiety, I was a hermit for 6 years, and it took a while to get used to talking to people again. Still getting used to it. It's easier to have happen to you than you expect. People would tell me that Minnesota is in Canada because of our accent. French is required in school, but no one speaks it. That lines up with my experience. I wish I had grown up in a more multilingual setting because it would be nice to have more languages. I'm trying to learn them now, but I'm not very good. The bare minimum of French for when me and friends visited Canada when we were all 18. Take French class. Sounds like BlizzCon was fun. Always wanted to go. I like thinking about what I'm going to do better next time because I learned so much from my first trip. I keep like trying to think of things that I want to make sure I remember. How is Korean going? I'm still doing it. I'm still keeping at it. I'm just going very, very, very slowly. I'm picking up like a little bit of vocabulary, but I have no grammar. I can't string together sentences. The best I can do is if I'm watching a stream or something, I can pick out the occasional word, or like in a drama, I can pick out like really, really basic conversational stuff and know what's going on, but I would have a really hard time if you tried to talk to me in Korean. One of the only things you can say in French is I am a tiny snowman. Exactly. That's my favorite sentence. It's a good one to make friends with. Who would be mean to a tiny snowman? XQC is from Canada. He is French Canadian as far as I know. The end of the gingerbread house was documented, and it got slapped onto the beginning and end of the vlog that happened that week. What do you use to practice Korean? Duolingo is my Korean app, and it's not perfect, but it's not bad. My plan is if I ever finish the Duolingo course, I'm like 2/3 of the way through it, halfway through it. If I finish the course and I'm comfortable that I actually know what it tried to teach me, then my plan is to take that foundation and study from a website. Talk to Me in Korean, I think, is quite good. The end of the gingerbread house was epic. I live in the border, so I have the hodgepodge accent that no one can peg. As an Arizonan, I can tell when people are from Texas. A bunch of French people. Hey, Canadians are from all over the place. That's what I love about Canada, is it's so diverse. And it's like it's a nicer feeling, or at least where I'm from and the people I knew, it was a nicer feeling kind of diversity. I'm sure there's lots of prejudice going around, but I got to spend time with people from more different cultures up there. Like, I'm in Oregon now, and it's not super diverse here. You can, in the city, you can learn about other cultures and you can get experiences, but it's not the same thing. My maternal grandmother was French Canadian. you ever thought about taking one of your stream days, achieve vlogs to help your less social viewers get meta mounts? I have not considered that. It's not a bad idea. I wouldn't want to commit to it though. All right, that's just gold. No luck. I do like that the I do really like that the spawn time for these mounts seems to be pretty reasonable. Like it's under like, it's like what, 20 to 40 minutes maybe tops. I am a Pacific Northwest person, and if my life goes correctly, then I'll never have to leave. I like it here. Excuse me. If you've never considered a baseball bat as a tool to use in your kitchen, reconsider. Oh, man. He wanted to do it outside originally. He wanted for us to take it outside because he wanted to, like, really smash it. But we don't have an outside. We have, like, a balcony. And I also wanted to eat it. Like, if you just obliterated it on the concrete outside, I wouldn't really be able to eat all the fragments of it. Just got back from Niagara Falls. I have never been. How was it? The husband was surprised. I was surprised, too. You know, it was homemade gingerbread that was made that day that was still edible. It was kind of a miracle. Shaw's 15 minutes. Is Galleon the same way? I'd also kind of like to hang out and wait for that one, too. I got Skull Ripper the other day. I was super excited, and now I just want all the mounts. I'm jealous. That's a cool raptor. I spent like 10 or 15 minutes fighting Skull Ripper the other day because nobody was around and nobody would join my group because there was no world quest up for him, but I wanted to kill him for a chance at the mount. So I was just like fighting him alone, and I could do it, but it took some work. How many attempts are you for Shaw mount? Apparently 18. Not that many. I just kind of do it whenever I remember. Yelling a new duster, 15 minutes. Smash it like the printer in Office Space. How you get the red ant? What? Ever considered living somewhere sunnier? Minnesota and the rain and clouds are really taxing. I don't think I would like it somewhere sunnier. Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't been to enough places. I have been to California. I've been to Irvine once and Anaheim once, and they're like the same place. I don't know. I don't like it there. It's weird. It's too sunny. It's too warm. There's not enough rain. There's no big. I like the Northwest forest. I like the Pacific rainforest. I like the hikes and the streams and the lakes and the rivers and, you know, the trees. I love the trees. I miss them if they were gone. I need somewhere where I can get out and walk my dog where I, oh dear. Are you okay? Do you need assistance? Can I help you? If I kill it, will it respawn in a better, there we go. Oh man. We would really love Northern California? Maybe. Maybe. I don't really get seasonally depressed though. I know a lot of people struggle with seasonal affective disorder where when the weather, there's less sunlight and when the weather is worse, you get gloomier, but I don't think I've ever really had a problem with it. Plus it gets more, like, we have a nice spread of seasons here. It gets warm and sunny. You've got springtime, you've got fall time, you know, summer's hot, winter's cold, but it's not like obnoxious about it. It does kind of get obnoxiously hot here in Portland in the summer. It'll get to like 40 Celsius, 100, 110 Fahrenheit. And I'm sure it gets hotter elsewhere, but that's too hot. It's too much. You know, anything over like 32 and I'm just done. Celsius. It's too much. Huolon triggers me. Once a week per character for all the world bosses. Does it get very icy, the Pacific Northwest? Depends mostly on your elevation. It will absolutely freeze in snow at higher elevations, if you're anywhere up on a mountain or just somewhere higher. But where I am now and where I'm from, not really. It'll get a little icy in the winter sometimes, but it doesn't super snow. Love the forest in BC. It's the marketing is really cheesy when they have like their BC tourism marketing. They're all like the most beautiful place on earth, but it is. It absolutely is. It hit me while I was flying back over it. It doesn't get better than that. Blazing Drake does not exist. Did you get a skin on this live? Did I get a skin? A skin? What game are we playing? Wasted some days in that. Still don't have it. Love Minnesota. Don't think I would move anywhere else. I'm hoping that, I mean, I guess it depends on what my job situation was, because the one thing that's really missing from my life right now and this is my fault, and there's also a lot of good things to it, but I really miss being part of a team in any sense of the word. Maybe I just need to like join a community band, right? Or like a volleyball team or something. Not that I can play sports, but Abumi, thanks for the super chat. Hazel, I shortened my name. Hope it's easier for you. Abumi Knights. My mom just got unlocked the Nightborn and High Mountain for our account. I've almost got Void Elves and Lightforge. Congrats! That's awesome. I hope you guys enjoy your new alts. Nightborn are so pretty. I lost track of what I was going to say. Completely gone. Oh, yeah. Like, I miss being part of a team. You know, combining your efforts with somebody else's efforts and with the efforts of a team to make something that is bigger than all of you is something that I don't get anymore, and I miss it. So if I had an opportunity to work in a situation like that with the right team, then I might consider moving, but I think I would be sad. I would prefer to be able to stay in the Northwest. Always wanted to visit Banff. I've never actually been to Banff. I've never been to Banff. It should be gorgeous, though. Considering our final move out, his snow and -30 wind chills really suck. Oh, yeah. Once it gets harsh to, like, drive, then you're not having fun anymore. Like, I used to worry a lot because my parents growing up had a really crazy commute. They had like an hour-plus commute over a mountain to get to work every day, and the conditions would get really bad and the traffic would get really scary in the winter, and having to worry every day like that's just not cool. When was the last time you helped a turtle make it to the water? I helped some turtles make it to the water recently, like yesterday, the day before. Nightborn NPCs are pretty, the player characters aren't. Oh, you meant mount. I actually got a mount yesterday, but not on stream. I haven't had any mounts this stream. Yesterday, I got the Ashenvale Chimera from Elashinier in Darkshire. So this is new. I like that a lot. Good question. Was wondering the same thing. Oh, why don't I start streaming on Twitch? We've been back and forth over this, and I might actually start doing some streams on Twitch, but they would need to be different than this one. There are a lot of very valid reasons for both platforms, but for the most part, a majority of you guys, not all of you guys, but a majority of you guys here prefer it here, is what we've established from polling. I agree. I miss working. My first time watching your live videos. I subscribed. All of your videos I watched, so sorry for that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I appreciate your views. Tortolans love the story of Lo. I mean, to be fair, Lo is just getting up to all sorts of hijinks. You know, that boy's always into something. Used to be a boomy curse Mark II. Also, I recently heard you're a fellow Oregonian. Hello, neighbor. Hello. Ashenvale Camaro would be a great mount. Oh, no. It's just like a car with, like, suspicious purple leather seats. Need some more tea. Take a quick break. I'm almost done. I'm just kind of waiting for this last boss to spawn. Also, my tea is cold. I haven't finished it. It's just cold. I think a lot of YouTubers have been moving to Twitch lately. It depends on how you prefer to make your content. And also, I think that if you're popular, I think that Twitch just pays more. I think you just make more money with less, like, homework, if that makes any sense. Like, with Twitch, I'm not going to say streaming's not work, but you show up and you do your best and then you're done. And that's the end of it. I mean, there's other things that go into it, but for the most part, largely that's it. Whereas YouTube is a lot more offline work. And the benefit of that is a YouTube video is doing more for you even after you're done than a Twitch stream would, but you're spending more time. It's just a different style of things. I kind of prefer the YouTube side of it. Lo didn't live in the big city, kind of like you. I have never lived in a big city. Like, the closest I lived was pretty close to Victoria, but having been back and visited Victoria, that ain't a big city. Victoria is a city. It's not a big one. Wish I didn't have to deal with the team anymore. I end up doing all the work anyways. There are absolutely valid drawbacks and valid ways why it is often better to do everything yourself sometimes, which I have problems with. Also got the Ashenvale Chimera yesterday. Congrats, Tina. Tortolans get up to Loa Jinx. Anyone remember Four Wheels of Fury commercial? No. Finally got my Time Lost Proto Drake. Congrats, Treeway. Should I reheat this? What if I reheat it and it just the mount spawn, the boss spawns? Why the boss just spawns while I'm gone. Brickley, thanks for the super chat. Got to catch a stream. Big fan of your videos. It's really helped me get through a tough time. Go, go, Gnome Squad. Thanks, Brickley. Appreciate that. I hope you have an awesome day. I've been considering getting into streaming. What was the hardest part about starting out? What would you recommend? There's a lot of different ways you can go with that question. I think the hardest part of starting out, it was, and this was a couple of years ago. I started streaming in like 2014. But being comfortable, I would say, talking to yourself or like to one or two friends if you have friends that can come. It's like streaming is way easier for me now because you guys just talk to me, which is very nice of you, so I can just have a conversation. But early on, you have to fill a lot of space by yourself, and that can feel awkward and it can feel uncomfortable. And then and you'll also, you know, getting good moderators to help you with people that may come in that are less than friendly. It's important, I think. Victoria is such a cute city. Wish I lived there again, but had to move for work, so I'm in Vancouver now. It was adorable. I don't know if it's just the places that we specifically went, but every shop that we went into, and part of it is because my whole family lives like in town, so everything is tiny. But like we went into this restaurant to pick up like a sandwich, and it was like the tiniest corner of a place that I've ever been in my life. It was like a hallway. It was like a half a hallway in somebody's house, but they had managed to fit a whole restaurant in there with like just a couple of stools and benches and tables, and like I was worried I was gonna knock over somebody's soup with the hood of my jacket because I had a raincoat on. How do you get over the posting your first video hurdle? For an antisocial person, it's quite bold. I mean, early on, it's actually less scary than you would think because, I mean, not to sound harsh, but if nobody's watching it yet, then you don't have to worry about people seeing it, right? So that kind of grows with you, which is nice. You kind of get used to it as it grows, as long as it grows fairly steadily. As far as posting your first video, it can be really hard to make something and be unhappy with it and try to figure out when the right time is to actually post it, because there's value to continuing to work on something until you're happy with it. But you're also never really going to be happy with it, so sometimes you need to just finish something and get it out there. I don't really have good answers for these questions. These are really good questions, and I have terrible answers for them. I don't know. An inability to come up with original, interesting content. I don't know if you necessarily need that. I think there's a lot of different things that can carry a stream. Streamers have many different strengths. Some of them get by and are interesting because they're really good at the game or they're doing something really interesting in the game. Some of them get by because they have like really good advice about the game. Some of them are just really funny. Some of them have friends and they have like a fun friend dynamic, so they'll have people chatting in like voice a lot. Some of them, you know, there's something for everybody, and what you are is for somebody. There's somebody out there that is super into whatever it is that you're selling. Not a good moderator. You are wonderful moderators. Lay off the gnomes. You can multi-stream to both Twitch and YouTube, but there's a couple reasons why I don't. Mainly because I don't want 2 chat rooms. I can barely keep up with one. Most Twitch streamers have things that get their YouTube videos demonetized, whereas Twitch, they get paid for people's subs. It's, yeah. There's a lot of things that are very common culture on Twitch that you cannot get away with on YouTube. And there are things that I probably wouldn't mess with even if I was streaming on Twitch. Like, on Twitch, it's really normal to watch YouTube videos on your Twitch stream, like with your stream. Like maybe somebody will be like having food and they'll just like turn on some YouTube videos, or their stream will recommend videos and they'll watch them together. You can't do that on YouTube. You're not allowed to rebroadcast the video, and you technically shouldn't do it anywhere, but it's one of those things like copyrighted music on Twitch where they don't really have a good solution to stop it, so they just don't. Copyrighted music is another really good example. Language is another one. There's just a bunch of things that don't fly on YouTube. Thanks for reminding me that I'm not funny. I have no friends. That's not true. Oh dear. Did you share with your friends and family at first, or only when it kind of took off? I've never really lied to anybody about what I do, but I also don't bring it up. I was not like showing my videos to people really at all, ever. Couldn't do it. Especially not my family. Like, none of them really play games. And they were supportive. You know, nobody in my family was like bullying me for being into video games or anything, but it wasn't something I could really share with them because they would nod politely because they're very sweet people, but it's just not a shared interest. So it's really embarrassing. Like, I can't watch my own videos in front of other people. I can't. Even sometimes when I find out that somebody has watched one, like, I know that's the point. I know that's why I put them online, but like, oh, I can't do it. It's awful. It hurts. How do you deal with negativity and haters, or do you deal with very little of that? That's what scares me most about streaming. I mean, I think everybody gets it, and that's part of what makes it easier to deal with. I wouldn't say that I deal with it especially well. I am kind of easily upset, honestly. Sometimes I'll read a comment if I get to reading comments, and I'll be just like, how could you? And I'll rant about it to somebody, like a friend or something. But it's, you know, everybody has rights to say whatever, which is why I don't do anything about it online. But because it happens to everybody, it feels less personal. Like, I can go to the stream or the YouTube channel of somebody that I respect incredibly, and they're still getting, you know, hurtful comments or rude comments, or just comments that are just like unnecessary. I think those are the ones that upset me the most. Like, somebody obviously trying to start something is really easy to write off, but when somebody asks something that just feels petty, that gets to me for some reason. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But because it happens to everybody, it feels a little less personal, and you can just kind of write it off. But some days you're like, if you're having a day where you don't feel like you can read this stuff, then just don't. You know, work on like, it's a better use of time to put your energy into creating something that everybody can enjoy, rather than trying to like respond to something that only one person inputted, where it's not going to make anything better if you deal with it, right? It's great to interact with people and respond to comments, but if doing so is going to prevent you from making more content, then you're better off just letting it go and stepping back from it and focusing on making more stuff. I got the Vitreous Stone Drake yesterday from Stone Car and Time Walking. Congrats, Tina. Hazel, how's the weather? It is raining and 43 degrees Fahrenheit, which, if I remember how to convert, let's see if I remember how to convert. 7 Celsius-ish, approximately 7. Do you have a background in broadcasting or theater before you start in YouTube? Sorry, that's really funny. Excuse me. Nah. I mean, I have been around the theater. I was a band kid. I was a band kid. So I played in the orchestra for some theater productions. So I was around the theater. I admired the theater, but I was not the one up on stage talking to anybody. That wasn't me. Definitely not broadcasting. Glasses are cute. Thanks. 37 Fahrenheit to your north. Need to try and make some WoW videos, but I have a hard time getting the sound right. It's hard, and it's like the most important thing, and it's one of those things that's really frustrating, because if your sound doesn't come out right, it's so hard to fix. You almost can't fix it. You need a good take the first time, and if you don't get that, then you have to either just try and record it again or salvage what you can, but bad sound is just so hard to come back from. I don't think you need to be attractive. People like that one popular WoW streamer. Suggest upset everybody. I don't understand. Fan your channel after being upset about the hive mind mount. Enjoyed scrolling through your content and subbed. Welcome, Fatal Tendency. 5 Celsius here and cloudy but dark in Northern Ireland. Oh yeah, locked to your group. Yeah. I think that whole controversy is kind of blown over now. Like, I know people are still upset about it, but I think it's at that point where Blizzard's not going to do anything about it now, because it's kind of over in the past and they're worrying about new stuff. Speaking of worrying about new stuff, I need to go. I need to finish editing the thing I was supposed to finish yesterday or the day before. Haven't finished it yet. Need to get it done. So I'm going to go try and finish that video. I'm going to get it out today. It's the first raid guide, and then I have 8 more to do after that, so wish me luck. Thank you all so much for your incredibly generous super chats and memberships today. It helps me out tremendously. I appreciate you all very, very much. Thanks for hanging out with me. And then if you guys have Twitch accounts and you watch on Twitch, I might, and I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I might do a little PvP thing there, and it's Hazelnutty Games on Twitch. So if you give that a follow, then you'll know when if I do that. But again, I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day.